Hey everybody, this is Beelit, and this is Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 gameplay. The team that I'm using is Wolverine, Iron Man, Akuma, and I'm going to be using those characters more. I think that those are the characters that I want to learn the game with. If I do continue to play Ultimate Marvel, the game is freaking, oh my gosh, the game is stressful as heck, and playing it online is, let's just say it's not fun. Playing Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 online is a chore. It is so freaking stressful. The netcode is horrible. It is absolutely horrible. I lost a game to a Sentinel who sat mid-screen and just kept calling in drones. Now, that's not actually a good thing to do, but when it was combined with the netcode, I couldn't move. Like, I actually couldn't move. I tried to jump, but like the input for the jump didn't come out in time. It was a really bad connection. It was actually abnormal. Normally the connection isn't quite that bad. But what ended up happening was I was just getting hit every time I tried to do something. I tried to dash between the drones, and I got hit. I tried to jump forward between the drones, and I got hit. I just kept getting hit, and it was freaking frustrating because I know he's just sitting there doing one thing over and over again, and I can't move. You know, and it was there's a part of me that just wanted to say, you know that you don't deserve this, right? You know that you shouldn't be doing this. You know that you shouldn't be getting away with this, but I couldn't say that to him, and I couldn't, force it into his head. I couldn't make him feel bad, and it hurt. So I sat there, and I think at the time I had lost Wolverine earlier, and Iron Man came in, and I want to say he only had half health when Iron Man came in, and so I got hit 2 or 3 times by the drones and died. And then Akuma came in, and he has low health, so I had to X-Factor pretty quickly. And then I was still trying to move forward, and I ended up dying really quickly. And it was like, if I got to move when I wanted to move, I would have been okay. But I didn't get to. Anyway, whatever. In the past, it's done. We can move on. But see, this is what Marvel does. This is what Marvel does to you. It destroys you on the inside. It's a horrible freaking game. But for whatever reason, you keep playing it, and you know that you shouldn't, but you keep playing it, and you keep descending further and further into madness. I really don't know if I can keep playing the game. It's so crazy, and there is so much nonsense. But it looks so pretty sometimes. When you get the combos, it feels good, and you get the little cinematic hyper, and you're mashing away, and you're just like, oh, I'm gonna get him, yeah, I got him. But then stupid stuff happens, or Virgil, and well, I said stupid stuff, that does count. And then you just fall, and you crumble a little bit. I don't know. This game is freaking weird. But I'm thinking about putting some time into it. There are a few games that I'm kind of trying to learn. What I want to do is I want to finally sit down and start learning other fighting games. Well, I should really sit down and learn a fighting game first, but I'm really kind of playing the field right now, trying to find what kind of game I like. I really enjoyed Injustice, and that was the most time I've put into any fighting game, easily. But it still wasn't enough time in my eyes. I still feel like I didn't put in enough time with Injustice, and that I could be at a better point if I did. I still feel like I'm lacking a lot of experience with the game, and a lot of knowledge with the game. and I feel it's a direct result of not sticking with it enough, not playing it regularly enough. And that's something that I guess you don't always think about, but a fighting game really does demand quite a bit of commitment. And yeah, you get that back. You get a reward for it, absolutely. But it doesn't change that you have to commit and that you have to really put the time into it. And I have a rough time dedicating that much time to something. Even though I really, really liked Injustice, I just couldn't keep playing it over and over and over again. Even though I really enjoyed it, I just couldn't get myself to keep playing it. The funny thing is, even though I enjoyed Injustice a heck of a lot more, I think I actually played BlazBlue more regularly than I played Injustice, which is really weird. BlazBlue, I feel as though it has this kind of inviting atmosphere to it that Injustice doesn't have. And it's possible that the presentation of Injustice kind of pushed me away from it. Injustice has this very dramatic and almost dry kind of tone to it. When you first start up the game, that background is whatever. I don't remember the background music specifically, but it in your head it kind of drones. It drones on, and it's not as lively and inviting as I felt BlazBlue was. The colors are very dark, and there's not a lot of excitement, I guess, in the presentation of the game. And maybe that is kind of what hit me and had kind of drew me away from I wanted to play it, but drew me away from actually sitting down and playing it more often. It's possible that the presentation actually affected me, and I think I've spoken to this, or I've spoken to friends about this, but I think it's very possible, and it was really funny that BlazBlue ended up kind of grabbing my attention and making me want to play more often. I enjoyed BlazBlue, but I feel as though I enjoyed Injustice more. And so then you really have to kind of look at the two and see what's the difference. Yeah, BlazBlue was also new to me, and yeah, that does have a certain draw. But when I kept looking at it, it seemed as though BlazBlue was just more lively, you know? And maybe that was what kind of drew me into BlazBlue and made me more willing to play it more often than Injustice. But Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 is somewhat inviting, and the only issue is that I don't enjoy it as much. That's really the big thing about Marvel. Even though it is kind of inviting, I don't enjoy it as much. So I'm still kind of figuring out, you know, if I want to continue playing this game, if I want to, you know, maybe look into some other games. I'm thinking about Ultra Street Fighter 4, seeing if maybe I can get into that a little bit. King of Fighters 13, I actually tried that for a little bit, but the execution is extreme. Oh my goodness. It is pretty nuts in King of Fighters, I gotta admit. It's pretty nuts. My execution is not that great, so when I go into a game like King of Fighters where execution is like freaking mandatory, like I just get wrecked. So I really like the aesthetic of King of Fighters, but the execution barrier is just too high for me. It would take me a very, very long time to get into King of Fighters. So I don't know how quickly that's going to come. That might take a very long time for me to get to a point where I think, you know what, maybe I can try King of Fighters again. But that's why I haven't gotten to King of Fighters. But the games I'm looking into right now, BlazBlue, of course, Ultimate Marvel, Ultra Street Fighter 4, and I'm actually kind of tinkering with Persona 4 Arena. I might have some videos about that later on. but also Guilty Gear, and I'm getting pretty hyped for Guilty Gear Xrd. But I will talk about those things a little bit later. I will leave you guys before I ramble on too much. I hope you guys enjoyed the Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3 matches here, and there might be some more to come. No promises, but there might be some more to come. So I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.